Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Alright, now so we can just go ahead and start writing our own register.php page. We can go like to the code right away, or we can just go ahead and create the table, and I prefer to start with the code. So if we go right over here, PHP, now let's close this so we don't have any errors, and we look up over here. So if we look down over here, you can see that we're having a form with the action of hashtag. We are going to keep it register.php because of course we're going for the code in the same page, and the class would set the method for post, which is even important than the class itself. So yeah, I'm guessing that the form looks good now. If we look here at the input, we're saying it's a type of text and the ID is first name. Well, alright, so we don't care about the ID actually. All we care about is the placeholder. Not even the placeholder. We care about the name. So the name is going to be username right over here, as it's actually saying inside the form in the design. And the second thing we're gonna do is the email. So the most important thing is actually the name attribute. So we're gonna go email. This one is like password, and we're gonna do password. Alright, so this is like basic HTML stuff if you're not familiar with it. Actually, you shouldn't take this course if you're not familiar with HTML. And this is of course bootstrap stuff. So we look up over here, this is going to be name free-password. Alright, so we're gonna check if we're gonna check for the the password in this input. So we save this. We are having also right over here an input. We should name this submit, so we can check for the form submission. So if we save, now I'm guessing that everything looks good in the HTML part. If we go ahead now and check for the form submission, so we're gonna say if is set post submit, which is the input that we just gave the name to. So we're checking if the user clicked on the submit button, or the sign in button that has the name of submit. We are gonna check for a couple things first. There's gonna be a couple validations to the first. So if we're gonna go if empty, and we're checking for first of all the empty stuff. So we go post username, and not and, we are gonna go for or if the email or the password or the password. So if any of those are empty, we are going to trigger this message, and this message is going to be like echo. We are going to trigger some kind of alert We're gonna go alert dash danger bg danger text dash white. Maybe that will be it. And we're gonna say some inputs are empty. And you might say, why don't we just say like input password is empty or input email is empty? I would say that it's actually a good security thing, like to give the user sometimes vague information. Okay, you shouldn't give the user too much information actually. You know, hackers are all around, guys. PG danger, so that's cool. And if the inputs are not empty, we're gonna go for some other statement. We need to check actually first if this password that the user entered, it matches with the re-type password right over here. Alright, because if they're not matching, that means that the user is messing up our database or our data. So of course, this is a little validation input. We need to check for it as well. So if we go up over here, well, we can take this data first. We can say, for example, user name is equal to host user name. And we can check for the email for now. Password. Password. And this one, input from the last password, input from the last that data from the last import, 3 dash password. Alright, so I don't know, maybe we'll keep it like this, read password. And of course we can name the variables as we desire. It's up to us. But of course the names inside the input, so global are already names inside the inputs. So let's take, we took our data from the user that he provided, and we're gonna go if this password is equal to the password. Now then everything is working perfectly, because that's what we need for both of them to match. Alright, so this is a simple comment. So now what we need to do is just perform our own query. And that's pretty simple. All what we need to do, insert is equal to the connection, and I know I did not include my connection file just yet. So I'm gonna go prepare, which is the PDO query, the PDO keyword for starting an insert query. So we're gonna go insert into users. This is going to be our own table. Username, email, password. Maybe we'll call this my password, not just password, to avoid conflicts with mysql. So we're gonna go values. Let's make it all in capital. And we are gonna put some handlers right over here, and we are gonna refer to them later, or we're gonna match them with the data later. Let's just go for now. Email, my password. All right, so we need just 2 dots right over here because this is, and maybe we can actually add an image, and we will add actually a CV for every employer, you know, but we're calling them here users. That's fine. We're gonna actually add a CV, but we're gonna set it to null. The default value for it for it's going to be null. But the image right over here, I'm gonna also make it an foreign handler. And if you look up over here, I've created this this folder, and I put this image right over here inside it, and this image is going to be the default image for our own user. And of course you can use any image that you want. I'm going to use this. All right, so I'm guessing now we can close this, and we can go ahead, insert, execute dash execute, and we need to open an array right over here. So we need to match every one of those username. We're going to be matching, of course, for username. All right, so maybe we need one more. This is going to be email, and that's the data is coming from the email. And this is going to be password. It's actually my password. And of course this right over here, it's going to be the password, and this one's going to be the image. And the image, we're gonna create a variable for it right over here, and this is going to be actually the name of the image, web dash coding. We are gonna just put this statically .png. So this is going to be image, and yeah, if we actually go up over here, we're saying we have a password. And another thing that we need to talk about actually is the hashing of our own password. So why do hashing? Why we do hashing for our password? Well, basically you need to do this for your users' privacy. All right, so even if you are the administration of the website, you can't look at the passwords and you cannot see them, you cannot dehash them. All right, so, and of course hackers are all around, guys. We need to use the password hash function, and it's one of the best functions, and that's my opinion. I know you can fight beyond this, but I'm not a big fan of SHA-1 or MD5 or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead, password underscore hash. It's a little difficult, to be honest, to use other than the SHA-1 or the MD5, but it's pretty useful, and it's pretty practical, and it's extremely strong. So if we go password hash, we're gonna go password, should go password default. It's right over here. And if we close this, so I'm guessing that this is done. So we're gonna go for else, of course. So we're right over here at this block, if you see, and this block, it says if the password matches the re password, that's coming from here. And if it matches, that means that everything is fine, that data is fine. And if it's not matching, we are gonna also give it some kind of alert, and we're gonna write over here passwords don't match. Pretty simple, huh? Alright, so I wanna go after this. Let's equal out something if we registered. So we're gonna say done. Pretty simple. And I'm guessing that we're not missing anything right over here. Well, what we need to do is just try this out, and let's say what we get. Or we forgot an important thing, which is actually creating the table. Alright, so if we go for users, now let's go for 7 maybe. And of course we're gonna add to this in the future. So for this one I'm going to keep it 3. This is the ID, and the ID should be almost always primary key and auto increment, so we don't need to increment it by ourselves. So we're gonna go username, and for the username we're gonna say varchar 200, and this is going to be email. It's gonna go varchar 200, and this is password, also varchar, maybe 200 is fine. And after that we actually have the image, and the image varchar 200, and after that we're actually having a CV, and we are going to keep this varchar also. This is of course going to be a PDF file, so we're going to keep this null. You know, the default value for it, it's going to be null, and we are going to let the user upload his CV while he gets inside our own website, while he goes to the update profile page that we are going to be creating later. So let's give this for now 200, and we are gonna say created ad. Just allow us to know when this user was created, and we're gonna set the timestamp, and from the timestamp for the default value we're gonna set current timestamp, which will get us the current time. So if we save, just be careful when you create this, because if you did not write anything the right way, you will mess everything up. And maybe I am not the one who did everything perfectly, because this right over here is my password. It's not just password, right? So let's go refresh. Let's see what we get. If we write this user name 1, and the email, it's going to be username at yahoo.com. Who uses Yahoo right now, right? We set the password right over here is the same. So if we sign in, never, right? So I don't know what exactly is refreshing, but let me just refresh this. Right, so nothing is happening, so let me just go back. Alright, so let's continue. We actually have a battle of errors. So I went to the header.php and I commented this line right over here after the body. So I commented and I refresh and I tried to insert some data right over here. You can see it can define it defined variable. Of course we forgot. You maybe did this, but we forgot to write to include our own config file, and this is going to be required. Let's go back, config slash config.php. Alright, so save, go up over here, refresh this. So we're getting back once again. Let's refresh this. Let's insert this. Let's insert this one more time. Well, just right away. Alright, so as you can see, it says right over here done, which means that this is created. Let's go back and refresh. So let's go to users. And as you can see right over here, we have the username, we have the email, and we have the password. Alright, so let's go back. We have the email, username, email, password, and we have the image just like we inserted, and we have the CV as null, and we have the create ad. So this is working perfectly. So let's just let's refresh this and miss a couple of things up, and let's see if the validation is working or not. So let's only try to insert something at the user name right over here and leave everything else. Let's try. As you can see that right over here, some inputs are empty. Well, just give me a second to fix this. So I've looked up a couple of codes, a couple of things about this, and actually the simplest thing, it will be displaying some kind of alert. So we don't need any of this. Maybe we can design a complicated thing with like CSS, JavaScript, anything like that. But you know, why do all this since this code is already big on the back end? We don't need this fancy stuff. So let's just display an alert, and this will do for now. So we're gonna go some inputs are empty. Alright, so we can just close this, and this will do the job. And maybe we will copy this also and just paste it right over here. Let's say right over here, passwords don't match. Alright, so that will be it. If we save, if we refresh this, let's try once again. Let's try sign in. So let me just, so basically we forgot the T as at the alert. You probably like did this. So let's refresh once more. Let's try one more time, and let's try sign in. As you can see, some inputs are empty, and if we go OK, let's try and browse. You can see that nothing is getting inserted, which means that it's actually working. So let's try to insert everything. Maybe we will insert with some other user, maybe user 2. Let's try email, the same, the password. Now let's try for the retype password and insert something other than this password. Let's try 123 maybe. If we go sign up, so let's try and browse. So it's not actually inserting, but it's not displaying the alert. So let me just, so I forgot this right over here. Let's refresh one more. Let's give it the same data, and let's try for this 123 sign up. Alright, so we're kind of messing up time right over here. It's not displaying. Let me just go ahead, script alert passwords don't match. Let me remove this. Let's try are not matching. This gotta be, and this is gonna be the last try. Yeah, so if we go 3 maybe, and this 1 2 3 4, let's try to sign up. Yeah, now it's working. If we go to OK, if we go right over here, browse, and as you can see, it's not inserting because passwords are not matching. So now I'm guessing over here we will finish this by, we'll make it go to the login.php, which is not which we did not do just yet. Location is going to be login.php. So after we insert, we will go to this page in order to log in right away. Alright, so if we refresh this, you can see that nothing is happening. So we will try this at the next video because this one is just taking too long. I'm sorry about the errors, and see you in the next video.
For more updates, subscribe to our channel, click the show links and enjoy watching the videos.